They may have. One of his sons might take it. Oh, that was me. Oh, Christian might take it. Christian want to be a gangster. He a gangster, right?
Can you believe it? Diddy is allegedly throwing his own son under the bus just to save himself from prison. I mean, we knew he was desperate to stay out of jail, but this level of desperation? It's absolutely shocking. His former bodyguard, John Deal, just dropped some piping hot tea, claiming the feds might be coming for Christian next, possibly charging him with some serious crimes. Word on the street is that Christian's been following in his daddy's controversial footsteps, and now people are saying Diddy's supposedly been feeding information to the feds about his own son to cut himself a deal. Now, as crazy as it sounds to think a father would throw his own child under the bus, it's actually not that shocking when you look at Diddy's track record. This man has consistently put himself first, no matter who else gets hurt in the process. Take what happened after the feds raided his properties. There were reports that he allegedly fled to the Caribbean, leaving his kids to deal with the federal agents. According to TMZ, they tracked Diddy's personal Lavalo LLC jet. You know, that fancy black Gulfstream 5 he's always bragging about? Well, apparently that aircraft landed in Antigua. TMZ spilled all the details about this wild flight pattern. Sunday evening, around 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, the jet took off from Sacramento Executive Airport and landed in Palm Springs about an hour later. Then, get this, an hour after that, around 7:30 p.m. Pacific, Diddy's jet left Palm Springs and landed at Van Nuys Airport in the LA area. The next morning, around 9 a.m. Pacific, that same jet took off from Van Nuys and ended up in Antigua. Now he eventually just went to Miami, but still, leaving your kids to face the feds? That's cold. But here's the tea. This wasn't even the first time. Last year, his baby mama Misa Milton put him on blast, accusing him of making their son Justin take the fall for a DUI. She went all the way off on Instagram saying, "I'm not with none of that reality TV. When is enough enough? I'm not protecting no one anymore, just my son and all the children." She didn't stop there. She posted, "A fish rots from the head down," explaining how leadership can make or break a family. She was clearly fed up, saying, "The truth shall set you free. Act bad, bad boy. I used to want to be a bad girl, but I chose to be a queen, tried and true. I'm not perfect, but I am intentional. I should have kept my child with me." And y'all, she really let it all out. Everyone has to sit around for years and act like there isn't anything wrong with you. This is where the buck stops for me. If anything ever happened to my son, God forbid, what is anyone going to say to me when we all know whose fault it would be? Look, I'm not saying Diddy doesn't love his kids, but when push comes to shove, this man will choose himself over anyone, even his own children. So is it really that shocking that he's allegedly giving the feds dirt on Christian? Speaking of Christian, we probably shouldn't be too surprised he's caught up in all this drama. Out of all Diddy's sons, he's the spitting image of his father, literally and figuratively. But let me be clear, I'm not saying Christian is guilty just because his dad's facing all these allegations. Just because Diddy's been doing the most doesn't automatically mean his sons were involved. They could be completely innocent. But chilly, it's not looking good. Both Justin and Christian have been dragged into rumors about their father's shady dealings. In Lil Rod's lawsuit, it was claimed that Justin allegedly helped Diddy find young ladies for his infamous parties. Now, I'm not confirming or denying anything, but it's hard to ignore that Justin's been attending these wild parties since he was just a kid. These parties were already inappropriate with all kinds of things happening that no child should have seen, so it's no surprise Justin kept showing up as he got older. But Christian's situation, that's a whole other level of messy. He actually got hit with a lawsuit where a woman claimed he behaved inappropriately while she was working on a yacht Diddy rented for a family Christmas celebration. According to TMZ, Grace claimed she was just doing her job during what was supposed to be a family-friendly trip when Christian allegedly became fixated on her in an uncomfortable way. She claims he made her take a drink that she immediately suspected wasn't right. Even though she managed to tell him to back off and get away that first time, she says he demanded she get back to work and find him a place to sleep on the yacht. Y'all, the audacity of this boy. While all this drama is going down, he's still out here throwing wild parties like nothing's happening. Even with his father caught up in legal troubles, a video just leaked showing him at one of these crazy parties, surrounded by girls, allegedly making them drink. Everyone looked completely out of it, if you know what I mean.
Hi, Hector.
Chili, this boy needs a serious reality check because he is being tone deaf right now. It wasn't even his birthday. He just threw this party for absolutely no reason. When you consider his own lawsuit and that song where he's bragging about how the feds missed some evidence, is it any wonder people are saying the feds might be watching him closely and could bring charges soon? Well, if that happens, at least he might get to share a cell with Daddy Dearest, so they won't be lonely in prison. But I cannot imagine how he's going to react when he finds out his own father might be the reason he ends up behind bars. That's going to be a whole mess.
What am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are.
Oh my word, y'all. Ice Cube just came through with receipts to expose how Diddy allegedly forced his sons to be just like him. Now we all know how Diddy's been dragged through the mud these past few months with the feds opening up that official investigation. But honey, you might want to add Christian Combs to that investigation list because he just got sued by a woman for allegedly assaulting her. Like, having both father and son being sued for similar things is absolutely wild. But according to Ice Cube, we shouldn't be shocked at all because Diddy allegedly put his son up to it. And y'all, the real reason behind this is going to make your jaw drop. Now that Christian is in deep trouble, word on the street is that he's allegedly planning to expose Diddy as the mastermind behind it all. And Chiley, the stories Christian is supposedly telling about Diddy are insane. When I tell you this situation with Diddy keeps getting crazier and more insane with every single update, I am not exaggerating. Because now, not only did Diddy just catch some other wild charges, but both of his sons allegedly have charges of their own. It's like some twisted family affair or something. How on earth does a father and his two sons all end up being accused of doing the same thing? It's beyond crazy. According to reports, the complaint alleges Combs intentionally drugged Dickerson Neal, leaving her unable to stand or walk. The lawsuit says she left her drink unattended with him at the restaurant, and afterward, under alleged pressure from Combs, she took a hit from a substance. They then drove to a music studio, but when Dickerson Neal couldn't even get out of the car, Combs allegedly took her somewhere else to assault her. But y'all, it gets even worse. She revealed in the lawsuit that Diddy allegedly made a video of the assault and shared it around. Reports say that days later, a male friend named Devontae Swing from the popular 90s R&B group Jodeci told Joey he'd seen an adult tape along with other people. According to the suit, Joey said Swing was afraid his band would lose their record deal if he spoke against Combs. And the wild thing is, Cassie also claimed in her lawsuit that Diddy used to record her whenever he allegedly forced her into these encounters. Even when she deleted the videos, he always had backups. The court document said that while Miss Ventura quickly deleted any photographs or videos if they were taken on her phone, Mr. Combs repeatedly made it clear that he kept many videos of Miss Ventura during these encounters. Even when she deleted them, he'd tell her he could recover them from her devices. One time, he allegedly sat next to her on a flight and made her watch a video she thought she'd deleted, showing her how much power he had over her.
On telephone and shit, after the main shit.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like, not the shit that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me up?
Like penetration pictures and
Nah, come on, man.
I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because when a girl moves away from a man and she upgrading, niggas be insecure, you know what I'm saying? They start feeling some kind of way, especially like...
A third woman also came forward with allegations that Diddy and his friend Aaron Hall allegedly assaulted her and her friend after meeting them at a party. According to reports, while at Hall's apartment, Jane Doe was offered more drinks and was allegedly coerced into being intimate with Combs. After Combs finished, Jane Doe lay in bed, shocked and traumatized. While she was trying to get dressed, Hall allegedly barged in, pinned her down, and forced himself on her. And y'all, when he was done, they allegedly switched, with Aaron assaulting Jane Doe while Diddy allegedly assaulted her friend. According to the documents, a fourth woman filed a lawsuit claiming that Diddy and a group of his friends, including former Bad Boy President Harvey Pierre, allegedly assaulted her in Diddy's studio in New York after Harvey Pierre picked her up in Baltimore. The lawsuit details are absolutely shocking. After all this came out, Diddy finally had to release a statement denying everything. He said, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." And Chile, don't even get me started on Lil Rod's accusations because he had plenty to say in his lawsuit. And wouldn't you know it, same exact type of story about how Diddy allegedly drugged him, gave him alcohol, and allegedly assaulted him at a party. According to court documents, around February 2nd, 2023, Mr. Jones believes Mr. Combs drugged him. He recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused in bed with two workers and Mr. Combs. He remembers wandering around the house with no clothes on. He then claimed that Diddy allegedly groomed him and tried to pass him around to his friends like Cuba Gooding Jr. Speaking of Cuba, TMZ reported that Jones claims Diddy introduced him to Cuba Gooding Jr. on Diddy's yacht, and Cuba allegedly began touching and groping Mr. Jones's legs, inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his bottom, and his shoulders. Diddy's former bodyguard Gene D also had something to say about Diddy and Cuba.
It's also, a legend that he met Cuba Gooding Jr. through Diddy on Diddy yacht. And it even got to a point where he started touching him on his, upper inner thigh near his groin, according to him.
Did you see the picture?
Nah, I didn't get to see it, but
Oh my God. Yo, listen to me, man. I don't know if it was what they call it when you take two pictures and they put it together, stuff like that. What they call it when they put the pictures together and it don't belong together, but they put it together. Whatever.
Side by side?
Yeah, whatever they call that Cuban Gooding Jr. was so close to that man. I would thought that was his lady.
This is how close he was to him, all on his leg. Gene also hinted that Diddy might have suggested to Cuba that Lil Rod was fresh meat.
So you seeing on pictures, do you believe his claims?
Yeah, I believe his claims. Somebody put something in Cuban Gooding Jr. ear that this was fresh meat, or see can you break him, or see can you do something? Because don't no other man be that close to no other man, for that reason. Come on, bro. That's crazy.
So according to this, not only did Diddy allegedly assault women, but he also allegedly forced other people to assault as well. And according to Ice Cube, that's exactly what's happening to Diddy's sons. But we'll get into that in a minute. Just like with Cassie, Diddy allegedly forced Lil Rod to hire workers and be intimate with them. The court documents state that Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting workers. Mr. Jones had no desire to do this, but Mr. Combs used his influence to force him into it. After the raid, Diddy's lawyers came out swinging, claiming the feds were piling on Diddy and trying to cause drama to ruin his public image. His lawyer said, "This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name." But the federal officer clapped back and said, "We believe that there is a disturbing history of trafficking. We are responding to concrete, detailed, explicit allegations. This is not random. We didn't choose his name out of a hat. We had allegations that we're following up on." The lawsuit had already been filed by a woman named Grace Omar Kai, who claimed Christian allegedly assaulted her during a Combs family party. Like Cat Williams said, Diddy gonna throw a party, but you got to tell him no.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need to know.
According to Grace, she was hired as a stewardess on Diddy's yacht a few days before New Year's Day 2023, meaning this alleged incident happened in December 2022. TMZ reported that Grace was just doing her job during what was supposed to be a family-friendly trip when Christian allegedly became obsessed with her in a really uncomfortable way. She claims he made her take a shot that she immediately thought was spiked. Despite that, she managed to tell him to get off her and leave her alone when he allegedly tried to kiss and grab her. After a brief struggle, she got away, but then he insisted she do her job and find him a place to sleep. Y'all, she had no choice. It was her job. So she took him to the theater to sleep, but once they got there, he allegedly cornered her again. The reports say he tried to force her to perform something inappropriate, but she fought him off. She even included pictures of her bruised forearm in the court documents as proof of the struggle. Grace eventually escaped, but says she's been suffering mentally and emotionally ever since. Here's where it gets even more interesting. She's represented by Tyrone Blackburn, the same lawyer representing Lil Rod. And if there's one thing we've learned about Tyrone from Lil Rod's case, it's that he does not play around. His lawsuit for Lil Rod included some major players in Hollywood like Lucian Grange and Universal Music Group. That's how you know this lawsuit means business. Diddy was also named as a co-defendant, but of course his lawyer came out saying Grace was lying. I mean, what else would you expect? It's not like he was going to admit his son did anything wrong. His lawyer said, "We haven't seen this woman's claim, but I'm sure we can expect the same manufactured lies we've come to expect from Tyrone Blackburn and his clients, just like in Rodney Jones's lawsuit that hasn't even been served yet." He added that they found out about the lawsuit the same way everyone else did, through the media. But chilly, Ice Cube is telling a different story. He's saying Diddy allegedly knows way more about this case than he's letting on. In case y'all missed it, Ice Cube has been following Cat Williams' lead lately, exposing all the shady stuff in the industry. Now he's claiming that Diddy allegedly forced Christian to assault Grace as some twisted way to prove his masculinity. Ice Cube pointed out how Christian has never been in trouble his whole life, even though he likes to party. There've never been any allegations or scandals about him, unlike Justin. Y'all know Justin is his father's shadow and has been caught up in all kinds of mess, like that DUI last year. They're saying Ice Cube pointed out how strange it is that Christian would suddenly get in trouble for something like this. Now, for those who don't know this tea, Justin Bieber was discovered by Scooter Braun, who was working as a marketing executive for So Def at the time. Scooter found Justin's music content online, then introduced him to Usher, who took him under his wing and brought him to Diddy. Here's the crazy part, Justin was only 13 when all this happened, which is the same age Usher was when Diddy allegedly assaulted him. According to Ice Cube, Usher is still allegedly traumatized by his experience living with Diddy, which is why he rarely talks about those times. But honey, Howard Stern managed to get Usher to open up about his experience living with Diddy, and let me tell y'all, what Usher revealed set off all kinds of alarm bells. But
Puppy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
Nah, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to
that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand.
What's even more suspicious is that Usher revealed his parents had no idea what was going on because Diddy made him hide the truth from them. At the time, Usher tried to play it cool, saying, "Oh, I was having a good time, you know what I mean." But he didn't really go into details about what happened with Diddy. However, he did say he would never let the same thing happen to his kids. That's how we know he saw some seriously messed up stuff. See? One time, during an interview, he was really hesitant to talk about it. The interviewer noted how Usher suddenly became very reserved, and Usher said, "I want to save some stuff for my book one day." Then he added, "I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex." Oh, and did y'all see that viral video where Diddy hinted that he and Usher used to sleep in the same bed? He said, "Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up, and when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes, you know what I'm saying?"
Brother right here from day one, we used to wake up, and when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes, you know?
So with all this, you'd think Usher would keep Justin Bieber far away from Diddy, right? Especially since he said he'd never put his own kids in that situation. But for some reason, he handed Justin right over to Diddy, and they even spent 48 hours together doing who knows what.
You ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
And it's clear as day that whatever happened between Diddy and Justin made Justin super uncomfortable. He started avoiding Diddy completely.
Good? I'm good. How are you doing?
Young brother, everything's good? Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
Number?
Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, didn't hold back in an interview, putting Usher on blast and suggesting that Usher knew more about the situation than he let on and had inside knowledge about Diddy's alleged activities.
A lot of stuff that Mace and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too, when he was younger.
Well, looks like Ice Cube is now saying Usher didn't really have a choice because Diddy was playing twisted mind games with him. The same kind of mind games he was allegedly playing with Christian, trying to make him prove his masculinity. But y'all, the streets are talking about this all kinds of ways. People are saying stuff like, he should have sat there and ate his food. And putting yourself on the chopping block for what your daddy was doing before you were even born is insane. Now they got you too. Others are saying, apple don't fall too far from the tree, don't it? And how messed up do you have to be to teach your son to be like this too? Y'all, this is some crazy stuff, and I just don't know what to believe. Do you think Diddy was really grooming his sons? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and then check out this next video.